Good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. So let's get open for business and let's wake up those football gods here this morning as we're sitting here on Hump Day. And it's not just a regular hump day, because technically this should be Friday because the Cowboys, no, actually it should be Saturday because the Cowboys are playing Thursday night football. And I have to say, Jerry Jones, I appreciate you and the NFL giving my wife the perfect birthday present because her birthday's on Sunday. That's right. Her birthday's on Sunday. So that means the Cowboys aren't playing, so I can focus all attention onto my wonderful, wonderful bride. So shout out to the NFL and for taking care of that. We appreciate you not having the Cowboys play on her birthday. In the meantime, this week has been the week literally from hell. This has been the strangest week that imaginable. You know, we got excited on Sunday seeing the Eagles get bitch slapped by the Giants. Then we turn around and we see Washington all of a sudden become a playoff team. Yeah, playoffs. I'm talking about playoffs. Playoff team by beating Seattle. And, of course, now we got Washington Trolls that are hanging out, replacing the Eagle ones that have run and hid. They're gone. They are gone. You know, I thought that literally if a meteor hit the earth, all that would be left would be cockroaches and Eagle fans. Literally, I swear that's what I believe would happen. In the meantime, our Cowboys, we got excited about Amari Cooper coming back, who on Monday we were told he was doing conditioning to check his, conditioning, even though he'd only been gone for like 10 days. And then Tuesday he didn't practice. Wednesday he didn't practice. And now his playing status is in doubt because today the team flies to New Orleans and he has not been activated from COVID. We ended up hearing on Monday that Tristan Hill, or was it Tuesday? Tuesday, Tristan Hill was fined $64,000 and suspended for 2 games, which seemed like that was a pretty quick turnaround for the NFL, in which case Derek Brooks was in the hearing for him yesterday, in which case they overturned one of the game suspensions. A little bit on this for a second here. The NFL has got to take a really hard look at themselves right now because the optics, if you care about the optics, and maybe they don't, the optics of what's going on is kind of crazy. I want you to understand that fines, player fines, that no team has more than 5 player fines. These are things that, players have done a little beyond what they should have. For example, Aaron Rodgers kind of lying to the NFL about his vaccination status. He got 1 fine. No team has more than 5 of those, with the exception of the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys, player fines-wise, have 11% of those. 11% at 11. More than double any other team. And as you start to look at some of the infractions that we have, now I'm not saying that Tristan Hill hitting somebody after the game isn't a big deal. It is. But, so they say because it was technically as soon as the game ended, then that's the problem. As opposed to when Kazee got hit in the head with basically the same hit that was during the game, not so much. No. It's not the same. No player suspended. When you start seeing some of these calls on the field and you see all these pass interference calls or these holding calls or lining up in the neutral zone, and you look at it and even the commentators who seem to be biased are kind of saying, that doesn't quite make sense. I think about the Dak Prescott over the goal line shot where they say, nah, he wasn't there, even though it looked like, from my standing point, and apparently most of the people in the world, it was a touchdown. And then we see calls like this in other games, and it's a touchdown. We've seen Dak Prescott getting jacked up, and there's no unnecessary roughness. And here it is, where quarterback is scrambling, we get that on the helmet, and that's unnecessary roughness. So you're beginning to get a groundswell of people that are beginning to notice that there is an agenda against the Dallas Cowboys, more fines than anybody else. Maybe they look at it and say, well, the Cowboys, they can afford it because, they're the most valuable franchise. But that's some bullshit. And at some point, it's going to start hurting the product on the field. Because when we have games that you honestly look at and there's 28 penalties, it disrupts the flow. It changes how players play. It takes the natural aggression out of the players. All of the things that the fans want to see. Anyway, moving along, we have that to deal with. We end up losing Mike McCarthy and half of the coaching staff. We end up with 13 players and coaches on the COVID protocol over the last 2 weeks. That's got to be an NFL record. I guess everything in Texas is bigger than everywhere else because Lord knows we got the biggest outage for the Dallas Cowboys. So now the Cowboys are feeling a little bit of pressure from the teams that are behind them. Then we got some good news, of course, that D-Law is back at practice. That D-Law, according to everybody else, doesn't seem to have lost a step. He's anxious and chomping at the bit to get back out there on the field. Of course, we end up losing Tristan Hill, in which case they overturned one of the game suspensions, so he has to sit out this one, where we really could use that guy. Next week wouldn't be so bad. But for some reason, the wheels of NFL justice rolled awful quick this week. They really rolled very, very fast. You know what I'm saying? But be that as it may. Find out Amari Cooper may not be gone. We'll find out in the next couple hours whether or not he is able to go through the walkthrough before they get on the plane. But I'm thinking that it's chances of him actually being there. If he wasn't able to go through a walkthrough yesterday, he's probably not going to be there today. And then you have to start having some real concerns of how bad is he. Is there any long-term effects to what he has had? Is there lung capacity that is lost from him as well? We don't know this. And as I pointed out yesterday, just because you may have had something and the way it affected you was no big deal doesn't mean that's the way it's going to affect someone else. Strep A infection, strep throat. Most people get strep throat. No big deal. Couple weeks later, zinc lozenges, antibiotics, they're fine. Me, strep A infection ended up going in my knee and literally almost killing me. And so that's the thing. You don't know from one person to the next. Hopefully, Amari Cooper will be okay. Hopefully, he's feeling a lot better today and able to play because we find out Cedric Wilson has a hurt ankle and did not practice all week. So we could end up being really, really short on wide receivers. Add to that, Zeke Elliott, the team talking about possibly resting Zeke Elliott. Well, Jerry Jones kind of said, yeah, not too fast there. But Zeke Elliott, he going to be fine. He going to have a heavy workload. Okay. So the Cowboys offense is definitely missing quite a few pieces. Defense gets a little bit help with DeMarcus Lawrence coming back, more help coming back next week with hopefully Randy Gregory and Neville Gallimore and, of course, Tristan Hill. But this game, we need to get back on track. The Cowboys for the month of November were 1-3. And all of a sudden, those things that the Cowboys were doing that looked so great have kind of fallen by the wayside. And now you start saying, are they that good of a team? Or is it just that they end up having so many injuries and depleted that this is the problem? Because we've seen a lot of teams that started out like gangbusters, like the Rams, that have lost 3 straight, that you start saying, are they that team? The Cowboys need to get this win. They need to get this under their belt to turn the narrative around, because if they don't, then all of a sudden you're going to start feeling a whole lot more pressure, not just from the media, but from the teams behind you in your division. And then you have to start circling the calendar, because come next Sunday, where we have our tailgate, that we will be at FedEx Field. And if you are interested in going, please send me an email, cowboysmark94@gmail, so that way we can give you the details of what we're doing and so on. I'm getting the parking passes. So it's 1 week from Sunday, for my wife's birthday, that we'll be at FedEx Field for the tailgate with the Washington football team. If you are interested in being there and being part of it, email me at cowboysmark94@gmail so I can give you details and so on. And we're going to have a ball. We know that a lot of you great fans are going to be there. We're going to have a 65-inch TV set up. We'll be having plenty of food and everything for everybody, and we'll actually have heat. So if you want to go see the game, you can see the game, or if you want to hang out in the parking lot and tailgate, either way, we're going to have a ball. In the meantime, let's listen to Get Up. I have not actually listened to this morning and see what they have to say. Basically, are the Cowboys facing a must-win situation here tomorrow night?
Right. And we got a bunch of other stuff happened that took us away. Is this a must-win game? The calendar is turned to December. Right. Is tomorrow night a must-win for the Cowboys?
Absolutely not. I mean, it's an important game. They've been on a skid, and it hasn't been impressive up until this point. But everybody goes through lulls. There's no dominant team in the NFL so far this year. I guess Green Bay's the closest we have to it, that we just know is just going to blow everyone out. So it's okay. They'll bounce back. Even if they lose this week, I think they'll be fine, because they have, 4 more games against teams that are under 500. They're going to be all right. They don't have to win right now. I think the first round bye is probably out of their reach, considering how good how many other teams are in position to get it right now.
But you're just laying it out why it is a must-win game, because you just said there's no dominant team. Every team goes through a lull. Oh, that first round bye, yeah, that's probably out of the question. If they win games, this is the whole point of this season. It's sort of like, this is a team that's built to make the playoffs, win the division, and potentially win the Super Bowl, right?
Right.
Before their bye, they were 5-1.
So
Here's the question. They were 5-1. Now what's their record? They're like 7-4. Okay. At some point, you're saying, I think they'll be fine. Yes, I think they'll be fine too. But they have to win for us to continue thinking that this is a team poised to win.
Well, it's fine. Words mean nothing. Words mean nothing.
Right. You know what?
Must doesn't mean must.
The point is that to have your lull when the calendar turns to December is not going to instill a great amount of confidence in anybody.
Yeah, I mean, they had their lull. If they lose now, they'll be fine. I understand the points that you guys are making. I agree with you that if they lose again, it's not going to look good. But they have 4 more games against teams that are in their division and teams that are frankly not that good. They have plenty of time to bounce back. They're not going to miss the playoffs. They're going to win their division. It's not. I mean,
the division is coming up fast behind them.
I get it, cousin Dak. I get it. Come on now.
Let me get Tim Hasselbeck in here for the first time this morning. Tim, what do you think? Cowboys, do they need this one tomorrow night?
No, I don't think they need it. I'm with Dominique on this. He said they have 4 games against upcoming opponents with an under 500 record. Guess what those opponents all are?
In division.
The NFC East. They're division opponents, 4 of them. So they get to play New York, they get to play Philadelphia, and the Washington football team twice. None of those teams have a winning record. And so while, yeah, it would be great to get back on the winning side of things and look like you're trending in the right direction, but if we're talking about a must win, it's not even close to a must win. You just take care of your division, get healthy and start playing well in the postseason, then no one cares what you did the first week of December against a non-division opponent. So to me, I look at this with Dallas. I actually think they're positioned well. And by the way, facing a Saints team that is having their own issues. So I'm not panicking whatsoever on Dallas.
Yeah, last Thursday they were facing a Raider team that was having issues. They faced a lot of teams with issues, and they find a way to lose a lot of these games somewhat surprisingly. Booger, what do you think? Dallas right now.
Yeah, Greeny, I don't think this is a must-win, and I realize, Kmart, everything you're saying is true as far as winning and kind of getting the confidence, but let's understand why they are where they are. It's because a lot of their guys are hurt. Okay, DeMarcus Lawrence, Randy Gregory, those guys are out. Tyron Smith has missed time. Amari Cooper has missed time. CeeDee Lamb has missed time. So let's understand why the Dallas Cowboys are having this law. This is a players' league. I understand cousin Dak is there, and everybody thinks that just because he's there, everything is going to be okay. But you got to have players around. And that team, once it gets whole, much like Tampa, When the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are healthy, when the Dallas Cowboys are healthy, then we can truly judge them. Let's not judge them based on the sum of a few of their parts. Let's judge them on the total whole of their parts. Then I think they'll be good.
You can make that case. Every team's injured. You can make that case with the Ravens.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
I agree with you
hear
on
you.
that.
But at division games, they're different. You can't predict division games.
I think
the same
Kimberly
way.
and I just have higher expectations for them than the rest of you. It's just
Oh,
that
do
simple.
you?
All right, we're rolling on. Coming up, speaking of high expectations.
You have higher expectations? No, you don't. Dude, you got to be kidding me. You had higher expectations for the Washington football team last year. Excuse me, going into this season. You literally thought that the Washington football team was the 49ers of 2 years ago. The 49ers, that's what you said. But you know how it is. They'll jump on your bandwagon and you're the flavor of the day, the brand new flavor in your ear. And then, of course, they will be more than happy to trash you the next. It's just the way it is when you are the Dallas Cowboys. You end up getting literally almost too much focus. In the meantime and in between time, you do your thing and I'll do mine. So we're going to get out of here. We got work to do in the workshop, and I got to go take care of doing some things for my mama. And I'll see you later. Our coach here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report.
One hell of a job, and the only thing else I got to say is